Hello everyone, welcome to the third part of how to use the EOS R6 effectively for your photography, videography, and this one, which is the third one, we're going to be talking about how to use this on the field for videography. Well, if you have watched the first and the second one, you will by now know all the technical details of the Canon EOS R6. This one is going to be a special one. We're going to take it out onto the field and show you how to shoot with it. In fact, we have already shot it. We're going to show you the videos and I'm going to talk over that footage. My name is Radhakrishnan. I'm a photographer and a YouTuber. Okay, now EOS R6, you all know that is a brilliant camera to do photography and lots of people are already using it. And it's also a very good camera for videography. And lots of wedding photographers are using this camera as their main camera to shoot their events and weddings. We're going to be talking about how to use this, the EOS R6, on the field to produce or to create a documentary. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so my kit is the same. I've been showing you the 35, 50 and the 85, the STM lenses. And of course, I'm going to carry a set of conversion rings, a monopod with a video head, variable ND filter. I'm also going to carry them in a very small bag. This is what I carried on my back. Now, something that I don't use, which comes with the camera, is the inbuilt internal microphone. In fact, it is true of any camera. The in-camera mic is not good for any professional use. There's a couple of disadvantages that if you start making some noise or you start whispering or start talking to your friends or if you kind of touch the camera or make some noise, or that vibration can be picked up by the camera and that will get recorded. So if you are using a shotgun mic mounted on the camera, be extremely careful that you don't make any noise at all. So we had invested on a good quality wireless microphones, lavalier microphones. That's what we used and we kept on shooting. And wherever I thought that I need to stay longer on a very, kind of a camera locked in position, I took the help of this monopod and I did that. Wherever I want to kind of move it, I did not actually use this. I used the camera and kind of moved it in sync with whatever that I was shooting. Something that you need to be extremely careful about while moving along with the inbuilt IBS on is that avoid making quick movements. Especially if you're on a wide-angle lens, you will see a little bit of, warping at the edges. As you can see, we actually shot a music band. They very gladly agreed to do a small kind of a session for us, which we converted and created documentary of a rock band. So they call it rockumentary. We tried to create that. I stayed well within the 400 to 6400 ISO range during the shoot. Most of the shots, in fact, almost 95% were shot at f2.8. And whenever I had to shoot some wide sequence and there are various layers, then I wanted to bring everything into my shot. Reluctantly went to 5.6, but after 5.6 start looking like video, it'll stop looking like film. Well, of course, the other thing to remember is to shoot using a log, because as you know, log will allow you more elbow room, which means more control on your highlights and more control on your shadows, and you will be able to grade your image in post in a much better fashion. Now, another thing that you must definitely remember to carry is a color checker card. You must definitely take a couple of frames, just roll the camera, keeping the card in the scene, and we did it religiously. Now, that's one reason why professional gets the kind of very, very uniform look in their film or in their in their video. So we did that, and of course we very religiously kept with all those points like shutter speed, which is double the frame rate, don't went beyond 28 f4, did not make any kind of, so remember these cameras still use focal plane shutters. So if you make kind of any rapid kind of left-right movements, you will get this thing called the rolling shutter effect. You already know that. So you must know what are the limitations that you're working with. Rolling shutter still is a limitation till a camera with a global shutter comes in. I hear that it is already there and it will be launched sometime in the near future. Once that comes, oh, that will be like amazing. But till then, you need to be very careful if you're using any camera with the focal plane shutter. I think you should be very careful while panning, minimize the rolling effect and things like that, and take good care. Okay. Now, because this camera has the technology built in to shoot anything that is in front of it, it doesn't mean that you can use it the way you want. So there are certain ground rules which are like sacrosanct. If you follow it religiously, definitely your image will look more like a film than a video game. Okay, so let's take a look at how we shot and also see the end result. Everything is shot with the EOS 35, the 50 and the 85, and this is all that we used. So we have it here. Okay, let me tell you that we shot this in February, just before the lockdown, the new lockdown. And the 1.3.1 was not out. We were still working with 1.3 and the IPB version, the bit rate of the files were a little heavier. We use Adobe Premiere Pro to edit the footage, and of course, even grading is done on Adobe Premiere Pro. We shot the Canon C-Log 4K 25 FPS, and we used neutral Canon original preview for the video assist at the rear screen, and a lot of footages you can see it from the BTS that I shot handheld. The internal image stabilization worked beautifully. Of course, we had an on-camera mic to record the audio, and overall, it was a nice, compact, very efficient system. And here it is. We are finishing the edit, and it's pretty nice, looking nice, and we will play that for you.
We said, okay, let's start it. And then this is how it started.
All right. That's about the post-production workflow. Very simple, like I said. Bring it on to Premiere Pro, edit the timeline, and grade it using the Lumetri. Simple.
Something that the pandemic has taught us is, although it had a negative side, of course, no doubts about it, but the positive side it has got is hope. A lot of things that were happening around us, meeting people, meeting friends, going out, everything we were sort of taking for granted, and it has also taught us that we should celebrate everything that we have in our lives. I think that is what we want the next song to be about. We decided to title the song as Pehli Dhoop, the first day of the light brings to us.
Yeah.
Good.
Lovely.